I am here to make another video. Video starting something. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Hey guys, it's me Troy and I'm here with another video. I'm making some videos here today. So first I want to go ahead and say thanks to everybody who recently commented, liked, and subscribed. Now this video I'm going to make it quick because I want to talk to the people who read Mercedes Lackey. You read Mercedes Lackey's fantasy books, then this video is me coming to you. Because I read Mercedes Lackey, not really, but kind of. Like I first discovered Mercedes Lackey when I went to this bookstore we used to have in town, and I saw a copy of, what is that book called, By the Sword, and I never been able to read it. Girl, I was like 14 then. That was too thick and too involved for me to get into. I was still stuck on R.L. Stine and Animorphs at that period of time, so there was no way I was going to be able to read that thick book called By the Sword. But it was fantasy, and I was like, well, this book looks interesting. I would love to get into some hot fantasy, but it never happened. But I ended up reading Laura K. Hamilton's series, who writes urban fantasy, and I was like, well, as always with me, when I first discover a specific author or genre, I want to do research to see like where the roots lie. And I discovered that Mercedes Lackey wrote the Diana Treguardian, or is it Treguard? I don't never know if the E at the end of her name is silent or not, so I think it's Treguard or Treguardi. But I ended up buying this book. I actually have the receipt. Like, I purchased this book on, I have the invoice. I got this book. I purchased this book in June 30th of 2007. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because it's only been at the end of June of 2019 that I actually finished reading this book, because it contains the 3 books in the Diana Treguard series, which is an urban fantasy series following a young lady, I think she's actually in her 40s, who is a witch as well as a psychic. In very subtle tones, she has these capabilities, and she solves different little mystical crimes. Children of the Night was about vampires. Burning Water was about ancient Inca spirit or some sort, and then Jinx High was about a witch who is so interesting. Jinx High was about this witch who, I can't give it away, but it was very reminiscent of the second episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We'll put it there. I actually think that Joss Whedon must have gotten his idea for that episode from reading Jinx High, because it's so similar in a lot of different ways. I know mostly not, but the overall concept is similar, and that's like one of my favorite episodes. But yes, it took me from 2007 to 2019 to read the 3 books in this series, this whole thing, for no other reason other than it's just life. And that brings me to this video, because I just went to my public library's used bookstore and I saw these copies of her super early work, and this is the first 3 parts of her trilogy, of her Valdemir trilogy, and that's why I'm making this video, because I want those who are fans of this series to let me know what I'm getting into. Okay, that's my point. But I got the Arrows of the Queen, which is the first book. I got Arrows of Flight, which is the second book, and then I got Arrows Fall, which of course is the 3rd book, and I'm sweating over here. So I found all these 3 of these for like $1, and I was like, well, I just finished that Diana Treguard series, and I was like, well, you know, first of all, these covers are pretty. I love the pink and pastel-y blues and pastel-y purples, and then I like that it's about horses, and I was like, well, you know, maybe I'll give this a try. This will be my next foray into Mercedes Lackey's work. But I saw a video where someone said that in Arrow's Flight that the main character, well, I didn't even say what the series is about. It's about a girl named Talia who has these abilities, and these abilities are making her, she has an affinity with speaking to animals. I think horses. There's like this connection, but for whatever reason, the queen of this mystical fantasy land has offered her a job and she has to take it. But the point is that I saw somebody did a review where they said in the second book all that Talia does is sit in a snowed in cabin and have sex. Girl, I don't know. girl, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I don't know if I'm with all that. You know, that stuff gets on my nerves. Like, okay, it's like 1 or 2 times. Okay, cool. I need to get to the spell welding and fantasy adventures. But yeah, I just want to know, what am I getting into? Because I really want to read them, and I want to read them for another reason. Is because last year I read Kristen Brittain's Green Arrow. And I don't read a lot of fantasies, and I just knocked up a lot of dust. I don't read a lot of fantasies, but I love this book. I thought this book was so good. It had like an amateurishness to it in the writing, almost on borderline young adult, but it was really good. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed it so much that I actually have all the books in that series up to date, except for maybe one that I need to go back and catch up with. So there are some similarities there. Green Rider is about a girl who runs away from school, who on the road, she is helping a guy who is a messenger, for the queen. And he ends up perishing away and somehow transferring that job to that young girl. I forgot her name. Too bad. Okay, I only read the first book. So, you know, there's some similarities there, so that's another thing that made me think, well, if I like the Green Rider series, maybe I would like the Queen's Arrow series. It's really a matter of that second book when they was talking about she gonna be in a snowed-in cabin having sex all day. I was like, I don't know, girl. I don't know. I didn't know we was gonna do porn. What is it called? Porn, whatever. Okay, you know what I'm saying. But I just want to connect with the Mercedes Lackey readers, and to, you know, if you love this series, then let me know about it. I would love to discuss it. And a matter of fact, with this third book, whoever previously had this book, girl, this is so crazy. Someone, I don't know why she gave it away, but she wrote a personal letter to who I'm assuming is the person that ends up finding this book that she's giving away. This is crazy. Like, first she printed out and made a flow chart. Official timeline for the Mercedes Lackey Heralds of Valdemar series. Like, she did a timeline. Do you see this? And she actually wrote a note. Mercedes Lackey is by far my favorite author. Anything you find with her name on it is probably more than worth reading. However, the Heralds of Valdemar, I say things wrong, series timeline on the opposite side is, in my opinion, her best effort. Please use timeline for reference only, not for a priority list as to which to read first. I have highlighted the Queen's Own trilogy, which is, these are the Queen's Own, I think, no they're not, trilogy. Well, yes they are. She put it in parentheses, Arrows of the Queen, such and such and such, to be read first. After that, you are on your own, though I will give you a suggestion as to what to read next if you are interested. Also, a special interest by Mercedes Lackey is When the Bough Breaks, with Holly Owls as an additional author, as it is about a multiple, she said, I don't know what that means. This is a dutiful, definitely still fiction, but very well written, intense style. I'm not sure what her point was there. That's not me reading it. No. It's not me reading it. It's just I don't know what she was writing there, okay? But she maybe this wasn't to some special stranger such as myself. Maybe she was giving this to a friend who unintentionally or intentionally gave away her 3 books that he or she let her borrow. Who knows? It's all mysticism as is. But I'm gonna keep this because I love stuff like this. And yeah, that's it. That's really all I want to say in this video is I would love to read more fantasy. Mercedes Lackey, you know, like I said, I read Kristen Brittain's Green Rider series. Like I said, I loved it so much that I collected the next books. I just really need to get to that point where I'm going to go ahead and read them, which most likely will be in October. But that's it. That's it. So Mercedes Lackey's fans, what am I getting into? And do you think that this will be the series that I would love to read? So that is it. I'm gonna go. Thank y'all so much, and please drop me a comment down below and we'll get to discussing Mercedes Lackey.